Okay, hello. I don't know you and you don't know me. So today, instead of talking about a character that I have played slash want to play, I'm going to be talking about a campaign that I ran. So this campaign was called the Gem of Dagon. Dagon was a pre-existing demon lord of like the ocean. He was like I believe on like the wiki page it described him as like a mix of a shark and an octopus, which I had a hard time wrapping my head around. So basically, in this campaign, the players were hired by this guy. He was a merchant, supposedly, who whose client said told whose client uh wanted a gem, a specific gem, a gem that summoned Dagon. And so the players in this were a group that we named the Rats and a group that we named the Bars. I don't have a picture of the Bars team, but I do have a picture of the Rats. So the Rats consisted of a human wizard Wren, a shifter druid named Arya, a gnome rogue named Topaz, and a elven sorcerer named Zelda. There weren't a lot of like distinct moments that I can remember throughout the campaign, but there are two. Both happened in the same session, and the bars team. It happened to the bars team. So they were in a chapel. I think I put a picture of it up on the screen earlier. And so basically, one of their characters, a Dragonborn Paladin, decides to. They actually both funny things that happened because of the Dragonborn Paladin. So basically, the first one, the Dragonborn Paladin, I don't remember his name. There's an organ in the church, and so he walks up to the organ and starts playing a tune that I think is pretty recognizable. Okay, enough with that. But yeah, so basically he goes up to the organ and he starts playing Megalovania. And so then I joke, Sans is summoned and he kills you all. And then there was another time, also caused by him. The scene is up on the screen right now. So basically, he has the bright idea of walking up to this bell tower, and when the rest of the party says, "Nah, man, we're not doing that. No, we've got what we came for. We're not risking it." And so he decides to go up there anyway. He splits the party. So there are two whites up there. And I roll two nat 20s when attacking him. So he's on like 2 HP when the party comes up to save him. That's nice. So, with all the funny moments out of the way, onto the storyline. So, yeah, there was a merchant. He hired them because he was hired to find this gem. He's being paid a lot of money, and he'll pay them a lot of money. And so they're heading out. They're they go to this place called Witch's Hall, which is a place. I also used a pre-existing town because I was a noob DM back then, and was bad at DMing, and so they go to the Witch's Hall. They save this guy from some goblins. Oh wait, there's also a funny moment. So when they're attacking the goblins, one of them rolls a nat 20, knocking one of the goblins into into an armor stand, a suit of armor, which they had been joking was going to help them. So that was funny. And of course that armor stand kills it, because that's even more funny. And so then and so the professor guy that they save from the goblins, he tells them that the information they need might be at this church, which was abandoned, and they find this journal talking about a guy who was looking for the Gem of Dagon, and then and then the church was attacked by a cult that worships Dagon, because cults are in every good D&D game. And so that's the church where the Megalovania and the Nat 20 things happen in. So then they go to this ship where this bandit guy is hanging out. And the bandit guy says that if they bring him back the egg of a rock, then he'll give them information on where to find the gem. And so then they do, but he lied because he's a bandit, and that's what bandits do. And so, but then they murder his goons, and he tells them where it is. And so then they go to this graveyard, there's this crypt, they go into the crypt, there's some more whites, which has some traumatic, and the paladin has PTSD, and so then they go into the crypt, and there's a trap door in the crypt, and they walk, and there's stairs, and they walk down the stairs, and they're in this dungeon that I have on screen, and I designed this dungeon, so it looks bad. And there's a spike trap, and and there's a bunch of doors they have to open, and they find the gem, and it's protected by a were-tiger, and then they beat the were-tiger, and then they go out, they take it to the tavern where they started, and they take it to the merchant guy. And then, surprise, surprise, the merchant guy is actually part of the cult of Dagon. And so he's trying to resurrect Dagon. So they're like, no. And they had already expected this because he said some things that made them... They were already suspicious of him because at the first session, he says that his client is going to pay him, 10,000 gold pieces, and then the client says they're poor in a letter. And so they beat him in, 2 rounds because he was the last in the lineup for combat. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. And so that was pretty much the end of the campaign. It was a pretty low quality campaign, but we had fun. We all had fun. And so that was good. Thanks for watching. I don't really care if you subscribe or if you like. Just don't dislike. It makes me sad. Goodbye.